30 north.
Reckless Mercedes-Benz reaches 145 miles per hour during dangerous high-speed chase with Arkansas State Police ending with successful pit maneuver.
Saying that's 262 for 14.
See if you can patch us with cover out.
2 a.m. Tuesday, May 14th, 2024, Interstate 30, West Frontage Road. A black Mercedes sedan, driving at high speed, overtook the patrol car. The officer immediately activated his emergency lights and sirens and began pursuing the reckless Mercedes. When entering Interstate 430 North, speeds reached about 145 miles per hour. The patrol tried to stop the car, but the car was very fast and balanced, and the suspect was passing in front of the patrol.
Traffic, speed 130, coming up 14.
They're taking the 4? Taking the 4.
Taking the 4.
Eastbound on Current
Eastbound Colonel Glenn.
The suspect's vehicle suddenly took the Route 4 ramp, and the vehicle pursuit continued into the John Barrow area of Little Rock. It was a dangerous, high-speed chase through a residential area. When the car attempted to turn onto 36th Street in front of John Barrow I.
We're actually going to go northbound on Ludwig. I believe this is.
Northbound Ludwig.
Sorry, it's Malloy.
Northbound Roy.
Eastbound on 42nd.
Eastbound 42nd.
Northbound Ludwig.
Northbound Ludwig.
East on 40th. Northbound Barrow.
On Barrow.
They might have just called something at the intersection of Barrow and Ludwig.
Possibly caught something at Barrow and Ludwig.
TVI 36 Ludwig.
TVI 36 Ludwig.
The patrol officer maneuvered the Mercedes, and the suspect finally lost control of the vehicle. The suspect stopped near the wall. The driver got out of the driver's door and started running on foot. The officer followed behind him until he was able to arrest the man behind a residence a few blocks away from the suspicious car. Two unidentified passengers were seen exiting the vehicle after the officer followed a driver. Then they opened the door stealthily and quickly and fled.
A quiet day in Lee County, Florida. It's 1:28 p.m. and a highway patrol officer sits patiently in his Dodge Challenger, stationed on Highway 146, watching traffic heading toward New Brunswick. Suddenly, a flash of silver cuts through the steady stream of cars. A Chevrolet Silverado, moving at breakneck speed, violently slices through traffic. The truck is traveling at over 100 kilometers per hour, 160 kilometers per hour, in a 100 kilometer per hour, 62 miles per hour zone. The officer's laser device locks on, confirming the speed at 60 miles per hour, 98 kilometers per hour. The Silverado races along the inside lane of Interstate 75, passing several cars. The officer immediately begins a pursuit. The high-speed pursuit. The chase begins. The Silverado began changing lanes erratically, nearly colliding with a semi-trailer truck. The trooper activated his emergency lights. The Silverado driver responded by braking intermittently, shifting gears, and swerving between lanes. He then engaged his right turn signal as if intending to stop, but quickly accelerated and changed lanes again. The trooper activated his sirens. The chase continued on I-75 with speeds reaching 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour.
Calling in for traffic up in 1031.
Another patrol unit joined the chase. The second trooper maneuvered his vehicle, attempting to overtake the Silverado. However, the truck driver brazenly avoided stopping by slamming on the brakes and deliberately ramming his vehicle into the patrol car. He then repeated the maneuver, this time with a violent collision. This time it was a very violent collision that caused the patrol to get stuck.
stay on the right lane, 4 miles per hour. Like traffic.
Despite the violent collision, the Silverado continued northbound in the right lane of I-75 at 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour, even after its right front tire failed. The driver turned off the exit, ran a stop sign, and attempted to turn west onto Tucker's Road. The pursuing officer took advantage of the opportunity and struck the left side of the Silverado, sending it into a grassy area. The truck eventually came to a stop. The driver, still determined to escape, tried to hit the gas pedal, but the Chevrolet would not move.
Looks like we're going to be taking the exit.
We'll take an exit.
Okay, stop.
Let me see your hands! Get your fucking hands! Get out of the fucking car! Get out of the fucking car right now! Get your fucking hands! Get out of the fucking car! Get out of the car! Get out of the fucking car! Pull his goddamn head off! Get out of the fucking car! Fuck you on? You want any fucking say? Fuck up. Get up. Get up. Don't look, dumb ass. Get up. Don't hurt me. Get up. It was the FBI. FBI. Yeah. Tell my family. Call my church to the radio. I'm not getting set up. Sorry, buddy. You drunk? No. Sound drunk. Anything on you that's got nothing to stick me. I didn't want this, man. I didn't want this. I'm antsy right now. I'm not might take you to the ground again if you get antsy. That's it, you. I respect you guys. Well, not enough to not fucking run. Man, my life's over with anyway, man. Put that on yourself. Yeah, man, that's medication. Take medication with medication.
Car 1757, the Florida West Boys and Chevy.
Man. Alright, wait.
Oh, yeah, I'm
the law.
Passenger seat and fled on foot. Officers pursued him, and after a short foot chase, they were able to apprehend him. Findings. During a search of the truck, officers discovered several items. They found 6 empty and 4 full liquor bottles, a 99 brand party pack, and 3 burned marijuana cigarettes. Drug paraphernalia was found in the center console. On the left rear passenger door, 2 prescription bottles were found, one containing oxcarbazepine and the other containing gabapentin. The driver was transported by emergency medical services to a local hospital for treatment. A CT scan revealed a bottle of pills he had hidden inside his rectum. A blood test showed his blood alcohol content was 0.152, nearly twice the legal limit. After receiving medical attention, he was taken to jail, ending a chaotic chase.
Eastbound 230, 294, eastbound 294.
and stated request, asking for their assistance, so they know we are asking for their.
He just total out 58 unit.
Your unit that was set up 1050, my unit's advising they just hit him. Confirm they just hit your unit.
Hey, you guys, when I get an opportunity, I'm going to try to shoot his motor out with a shotgun, so just be prepared.
Schedule. We're back eastbound on Carson Bridge at North Alma. 3 units.
Put 3 rounds through his engine, he's going to slow him down to a stop.
Six two five, you still rolling? Yeah, we're rolling at about 5 miles an hour.
Put it in park. Put it in park. Put it in park.
Get some handcuffs. Get some handcuffs. You got it.
Hands behind your back right now.
The unbelievable ride inside the high-stakes pursuit of a stolen semi-truck through Southern California's freeways. "9:30 a.m. in Fontana, California. Fontana police officers attempted to stop a Ryder truck rental truck after it was determined its license plate belonged to another vehicle, raising suspicions it was stolen. Suspects: the driver refused to comply and fled, with another man in the passenger seat. On a typical day in Fontana, California, a highway patrol officer was conducting traffic control when something unusual caught his eye. A large Peterbilt truck was driving smoothly, but its license plate appeared to be unprofessionally wired. This simple suspicion was enough for the officer to begin investigating. The chase lasted more than an hour, spanning several cities and counties, and was joined by California Highway Patrol, CHP, patrols. The passenger's behavior included repeatedly opening the truck door, as if trying to get out. This behavior strengthens the hypothesis that he may have been held against his will. Failed maneuver: a SWAT armored vehicle participated in the chase and, in a failed attempt to stop the truck, collided with it. When the officer tried to stop the truck, the driver didn't respond. Instead, he hit the gas pedal and began to drive off. The truck, which had been reported stolen 2 days earlier from Ryder Logistics, suddenly transformed from a cargo vehicle into a dangerous getaway vehicle. The chase began. A simple suspicion was enough to start a routine investigation. No one imagined it would turn into one of the most insane chases. The driver was driving this massive truck with insane recklessness. He was passing other cars at speeds up to 70 miles per hour, performing dangerous maneuvers to avoid the police. This wasn't just an ordinary chase, it was a real threat to the lives of everyone on the road. The chase is now expanding, crossing from San Bernardino County into Orange County. As the police continue to pursue the truck, an unexpected twist occurs. A family member of the passenger calls the police and says his father is being held inside the truck against his will.
Really is dangerous. It's not a light little passenger car. This can kill somebody very easily in an accident or in an incident, even a slow rate of speed. So you always are really concerned about that. It looks like we're going to get off the 91 freeway westbound before the 5, which I was talking about. So we're back on surface streets. This is going to be, I believe, off on Brookhurst. And we'll see as it makes a turn, gets on Brookhurst, in what direction they travel. This is going to be... Watch these things. I wonder about this. When you see this, you wonder if they know that individual. Talking to that individual.
Up a little bit, but we can see a lot of looky-loos sort of trying to communicate with the driver, which is, and then this sort of T-zone, you always get nervous for any innocent driver who doesn't realize there's a pursuit taking place.
At all because of the weight of that vehicle, and right now at least the suspect is not driving extremely erratically. The vehicle's been slowing. It looks like he's making some gestures there with his hand, and we can only hope any moment now we'll get back to where we were before. The suspect will stop. They'll start to get some communication with the officers, and they'll give themselves up. But for now, if this suspect continues going north here and then makes another right turn, the semi will be going by that group of people that he drove by earlier. So we'll see. There's the passenger. You can see their hand is out of the window now. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. You may have a better look in there than I do. But certainly there's not a lot of options for the police department right now when it comes to trying to stop this.
Yeah, I can only see the sort of the forearm, the elbow down, so I can't make out who is in that passenger seat. We also have Bruce Thomas helping us out, a former law enforcement official. Now, Bruce, Scott was saying this, maybe Fontana police have a good idea of who this suspect is. They are obviously pretty proficient with driving this type of vehicle. But when they have the canine showing up right away, don't you have to sort of we always seem to be waiting for the canines to show up to these pursuits or to a barricade situation.
Yeah, and when you have some smaller agencies like that, the canines are part of the regular patrol pattern, so they may have seen about the pursuit, heard it, and then jumped right into the pursuit as maybe a fourth or fifth vehicle, and therefore that resource, the canine, is available for deployment.
Right. Also, we have some video when we were saying that the driver did stop at one moment on Commonwealth Avenue and then open the door and then through this piece of, we don't know what it was, but then it just continues to roll and then another vehicle is going to come up. You see the canine right there. You're going to see the other vehicle, another Fontana police officer goes right up next to whatever was thrown out. So I think they must have known because whatever that is, it rolled for quite some time. And I feel like it might be a liquid because I feel like there's a little trail of liquid. I'm not sure, but you saw that the Belgian Malinois, their police dog right there ready to help assist, as it is considered another police officer as part of this pursuit. But we see, Scott, you're right there as well. You're seeing this driver now is in, where are they heading?
Yeah, so I think they're just trying to figure out what they can. They're still headed eastbound. They're going to come back up on Brookhurst here in a moment, I believe, and the suspect had gotten off on Brookhurst a moment ago. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this and see what happens. But the speeds haven't been erratic, and that's good news as far as safety is concerned. But as far as the strategy, it's going to be interesting exactly what they try to do here, whether CHP takes over or Fontana just continues to follow.
Right, and just their strategy of trying to figure out how do you pull this vehicle over. Again, we do have Bruce Thomas on the line as well. Bruce, we are seeing the CHP possibly getting engaged in this. At least we see more activity with the CHP, but now it looks like this driver is going to be taking the Brookhurst Road exit from the 91 East. I don't know how they end up the jockeying between the agencies, Bruce. What do you think the CHP, their watch commander, is obviously watching this? You see the passenger side door. Every time this tractor sort of starts to stop, that door opens. But when that driver actually pulled over probably about 10 to 15 minutes ago, that passenger did not get out of the vehicle. So I'm not quite sure why their behavior is what it is right now. But again, Bruce, you can see we have the Fontana Police Department. We also had the CHP kind of doing a real fast flyby almost to take a look inside. What do you
I'll see a vehicle though, and I'm just astonished that they really think they're going to go in between these PD cars and get in front of them. But right now we're on the northbound 5. We're still in Fullerton. We're headed up into Buena Park. And it wouldn't surprise me if the suspect gets off the freeway once again at this spot and then makes himself back to the area that he was earlier. I'm sure that's the off-ramp there. I think we got off on this off-ramp earlier. It might be Artesia, if I'm not mistaken. We were on La Palma for a moment, then back on Brookhurst. So we are seeing a pattern, and when you see patterns, it is easier to set up spike strips, because when patterns happen, you can think, well, if he heads back to the same spot, we'll get a unit to hide with a spike strip and maybe throw it out. So that will help. But besides that, I don't see that there's much in the way of strategy to stop this and to believe that they were just out because of social media and knew he was heading in that direction. So we could see there's some people out on the street there. This could be the same spot we were at before. Right. Boy, they want to get out, or they want to grab something from that vehicle or put something on top.
They grabbed something from the very top, I believe.
Oh my goodness, we never see this. That was a SWAT vehicle that just slammed into the semi on the side. Came out of nowhere. We didn't even see that vehicle. We hadn't known it was here, and they came in and just slammed into the side of that semi with their armored vehicle. So now you have two vehicles, and they're both really heavy. I'm not sure, I've never seen it, but maybe they can do a pit maneuver with that armored vehicle. If the semi tries to make a turn at a slow enough rate of speed, and they can get behind it and hit the rear, they can get it to spin out. There's no way with the center of gravity on a semi like this, a tractor portion, that it's going to overturn. As long as it doesn't have too high a rate of speed. But if he comes up behind it right now and he makes a turn and he can tap him right in the rear of the vehicle, he could possibly get him to spin out. But one of the reasons I don't think he did that, there was a vehicle in that intersection, and with two heavy vehicles, that's extremely dangerous. But wow, we saw that came out of nowhere. I did not see that coming when the armored vehicle slammed into that semi.
That was unbelievable. That came really, it was a shock. And again, I've never seen an armored vehicle attempt to do a pit maneuver, or at least get so involved with one of these chases. But now you have that armored vehicle following this tractor.
Fontana?
But again, it's very, very interesting. Again, I want to welcome our viewers.
Continue up onto the sidewalk. It's really difficult to stop this, but now we know the strategy, a pit maneuver or even ramming that tractor.
Well, that's the thing. Clearly, at a high rate of speed, this vehicle would cause a lot of damage, but even at very, very low speeds, it can just plow through things. I'd like to show that video one more time that we
Finally, after hours of tension, the chase ended. Police succeeded in surrounding the truck at the intersection of Franklin and Beach Streets, forcing it to stop. Bill Fayed exited the truck, raising his hands, and surrendered to police. He was followed by the passenger, Carlos Mesta, who was also arrested. Eyewitness testimony. The information included testimony from Buena Park resident Julian Velasquez, who described the scene as rare and similar to what he had seen on the news. As police took the two suspects out at gunpoint, the two men were taken into custody. It was later revealed that both had prior arrest warrants for grand theft of a motor vehicle. Another warrant was issued for the driver, who was armed and dangerous.
So on the other side is out right now, and then now they're trying to get to the driver.
Yeah, and this is a critical moment right now when the driver gets out. They don't know what they're dealing with, but if this driver makes a sudden move, they have guns drawn on this individual, and right now it looks like he is cooperating with their commands. He's probably going to back up, maybe open his shirt up or pull it up to make sure there's nothing in his waistband, but more than likely he'll be down on the ground here in a moment. And at this point in time, we don't know what they think about the passenger, if that's a suspect or if that is someone, as we mentioned, may have been held against their will. That will depend on how they treat that individual, but they have to get that person in custody. They have. And now you can see they're moving on to the passenger. And the passenger does not appear to be an individual that was held against their power or kidnapped and wants to give themselves up. It looks like they're actually not obeying the commands of officers right now. They have their guns drawn on that individual. This is a scary moment. Be careful here, Josh.
Right there, and he had his weapon pointed straight through the front windshield. So that's going to change your demeanor very quickly. And it looked like that's what that's what ended this.
Very dramatic.
Without further incident.
Absolutely. You know, we have been watching this pursuit, and, you know, I don't want to not kind of discuss the one moment when you saw that Bearcat ram the tractor at the very beginning when we saw the Bearcat being introduced to part of the